Hi, everyone. So, this week could have been better. Um, I have had multiple instances where I'm trying to do something and I get frustrated because it's just like a reminder of the crap that I struggle with. For example, Tuesday, like I finally have the time to try to figure out this fucking paperback bullshit on Amazon. It's so hard. Like the Kindle, making a Kindle is easy, but like turning it into a paperback is so hard for me. Um so what I did on Tuesday, cuz today's Friday, is I spent all day like formatting. I taught myself how to format the document specifically for paperback, and I was going step by step with instructions. It took forever, but I finally, like a couple hours later, I was pretty satisfied with what the interior looked like. And then I went to go work on the cover, and I thought I did that right. And basically, like, it kept getting rejected, but I wasn't getting any emails. So I tried a couple more times to publish it and it would get rejected. And so I finally like reached out to somebody today via chat, and he said it was because of the dimensions of my book cover. But regardless, it was so annoying because I was so proud of myself for teaching myself how to format the interior, because that's just not stuff that I'm good at. But I wanted to see if I could do the whole process on my own. Because if I can do something on my own, I much prefer it that way. And so, what was I going to say? No, yeah, so anyways, I hope that gets figured out like later, because I don't know what to do about these dimensions. The guy gave me like this huge paragraph with all these numbers, so I'm just going to show it to Alicia when she gets home and ask her if she could perhaps fix my cover for me. And it's so annoying because I did the whole other part of it. Like I did the writing, I did the formatting, but I can't do the fucking cover. That is so annoying, and it's at the point where I don't even want her to show me. I just want her to do it. And then next time I'll just try again, because there's a couple of other journals that I have on Amazon, in case you want to go look, that are long enough to be paperbacks. So it's just annoying. And I know this is like a first world problem. I get it. It's just frustrating when you spend time and you're right at the very end of something and you can't get that last part right. I don't know what to do with that frustration. So that was Tuesday. And then Wednesday, like my laptop shit the bed. It is so ancient. And by ancient, I mean it's like 7 years old, that's kind of ancient in laptop times, in my opinion. So we went to go get me a new laptop because obviously I need a new one for work. And Alicia picked it out for me because I don't know anything about processing speed or what the hell is on those stickers with all that info, like in front of each laptop at the store. Because we went to Best Buy. And so she knows what they say. So she found me a good one. And we get home and I can set it up myself, because every laptop I've ever gotten, I've had to set it up myself because, most of those I bought while I was on my own. But anyways, so I was in the I'm going to do it all myself mode, and I tried, and I spent about an hour setting up most of what I needed, and I was pretty satisfied with that. And then I went to go try to work on something, and I realized that I needed to install Grammarly onto this laptop. And for anybody that doesn't know what Grammarly is, it's like the software that assists you when you're going through documents, excuse me, like editing or writing. Oh, sorry about the voice. I don't know. Sorry, I'm gross. What was I saying? Oh, Grammarly. Yeah, so turns out my laptop was so old, like I couldn't even get the newer version of Windows on it. It wouldn't even let me. And so when I used this laptop, it was like a whole new world. Like everything looked better, which made it a little bit more difficult to use. Because it was kind of new. Like, for example, like Microsoft Word looks a little bit different. Grammarly looks different. Like, I don't know how to explain it. But anyways, I have a couple of clients that pay me exclusively to do full service Grammarly on their books. And that baffles the fuck out of me because that's like cheating. I use Grammarly for punctuation primarily. So like, and it's always the commas. People don't know how to use commas. And so rather than going from like my mouse and then clicking the comma on the keyboard and then back to the mouse and then clicking the comma on the keyboard, I just click Grammarly. Like off to the side, they have the suggestions of where the comments are supposed to go, and most of those are usually right. So I just click, 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 and it sounds lazy or whatever, but like just not having to put my hand punching that fucking key on the keyboard like 1,000 times a book, it's just annoying. So anyways, I use Grammarly for that, and then for those other two clients. And so what happened was I couldn't figure out how to get it to work. I installed it. I thought I put it on Word, and it just turned out that I'm not gonna bother to explain like what the issue was because I don't know how to explain it. But suffice to say, I spent 2 hours on my own at home because Alicia was at work trying to figure this issue out because I had to do one of those books for that client that wanted just all Grammarly. Which that's kind of like easy money. So I don't understand like why they don't just do it, but I'm not going to complain. So yeah, so after 2 hours, I just started crying and I was so frustrated because in the world of owning your own business, you don't get paid for crap like that. Like I don't have an IT person, that I can just call up that can help me. I mean, I guess I could in the future, but I can't afford that right now. So I'm left to figure it out on my own, and I tried watching videos. I tried like reading directions. It just seems like I didn't know what was going on, and I cried, and then I was like, why am I crying over this? And then I got so frustrated that, this is kind of embarrassing, but I don't know I tense my body up like so tight. Like I squeeze I make fists. I don't know how to explain. My talking just blows. Sorry. I just tense my whole body up rather than scream. Because I don't really want to scream. I don't want anybody to come running from the neighborhood to figure out what's going on. And so I tense my body up and I just squeeze every part of my body. Like, I don't know how to explain it, but it gives me the same release that like screaming would. And after I did that a couple of times, I was like, what the hell? This is like what children do. And I'm crying because I can't figure this out, and it's frustrating, and I didn't get paid for those 2 hours, so I felt like that was a complete waste because I didn't get anything done. And that was 2 hours I could have gotten into that book, but I couldn't. So when Alicia got home, I was still trying to figure this shit out, and I was still determined to do it on my own. And after half an hour, I went to her and I said, can you please figure out how to get Grammarly onto Word? Like, so it works properly. And that bitch got it in like 15 minutes. And I was like, what was it that you did that I didn't? And she said that she's just, she works with computers all the time doing all kinds of random things. And I just use my computer for the same stuff. So it would make sense that she would know what the issue was easier than I would. But oh my God, it sucked so bad. Because, like it's not unusual for me to go through my days and like struggle with something. Like that's normal to me. That's fine. But when it comes to like chunks of time being wasted, it pisses me off. And I can't do anything about it. I can't make myself learn the thing. It just reminds me of childhood all over again, of like my bitchy mother getting mad at me for not understanding how to do things. Like, I don't get that. And so anyways, and then Tuesday just kind of like the rest of the day kind of sucked because once Alicia fixed that for me, I started working on my book, but I had to work later into the evening than I usually do to compensate for like those 2 hours that I lost. And so then that brings us to yesterday, which was Thursday. This isn't so much of an issue. I was just on a frustrating roll this week. And so we have like in the basement bags of water bottles. We don't drink beer or anything like that, so we don't have like beer bottles. It's just bags full of water bottles, Celsius cans. That's it. And there's so many of them. And usually like over the winter, they collect big time down there. And we've been busy this year. So like, I mean, it's not that bad down. Anyways, there's like 20 bags in the basement of bottles. And me and Alicia used to do it together. I would go with her to hand her the bags, untie them so she can dump them in the thing. And I realized I'm going to have to start doing this myself because she is so busy. The basement doesn't need to have all of those bags of bottles. So I went by myself and I made one trip, and all I could fit into my car was like 7 bags. But that gave me $20, which was fine. But what was frustrating to me was that was all I could do. Her and I would make like a couple of trips sometimes, but I can't do that on my own. I just can't. Like all I could do was that one car full of bottles, because going to the bottle return place sucks because it's so loud in there. But I need to start doing more things, and I want to help. I just want to help do more. And I don't usually go to the bottle place by myself, but I went. And instead of being proud of myself for getting some of those bags out of the basement, I was just frustrated that I wanted to get more of them, but there was like this block in my mind that wouldn't let me make 2 trips. It sounds stupid, but I wanted to make 2 trips, and I just knew that I couldn't because the thought of coming back home, going down to the basement, dragging the fucking bags back up, bringing them all the way around to the house to my car, putting them in there, driving to the place, and doing the whole thing over again just seemed like way too much. And so rather than just accept that that's what it is, it's fine, I decided to get pissed about it. Like, I did not do very good with my feelings this week. I didn't take anything out on Alicia. Like, we're fine. But I have been engaged in a lot of negative self-talk, and that's not usual for me. I don't really do that much anymore. But it just seemed like every day there was just something that was a reminder of like, oh, you can't do this, but other people can, but you struggle with it. And you shouldn't have to struggle with it, but you do. Like just bullshit like that floating around in my head. And today, Friday, I don't know what the day is going to bring, but I think I've about had it with not being able to do things. So I better be able to do everything today. Otherwise, I will lose my shit. Maybe not. No, I'm talking out loud and processing through this, so that means I don't have to lose my shit if something else happens. Have you ever had weeks where it's just like every day something is just annoying the fuck out of you? I'm not trying to be a downer. I mean, I don't really feel negative right now, even though I might sound that way. And I really am very grateful that we were able to get a new laptop. Like, I am very grateful for that because it does make working so much easier. Things are just so much quicker, and that feel like, when you get a new laptop, it's like Christmas. That's how I felt. It was Christmas, and then it was like Krampus came, and I couldn't get Grammarly, like the stupid software, onto MS Word. And yeah, that's what this episode's about. Hopefully somebody could relate to this. I mean, you should be able to, because you guys are autistic. And when I get frustrated, this makes me sound narcissistic, but I don't mean to be. But I feel like when I get frustrated about something, it's times 10 when an ordinary person gets frustrated about something. And I'm not trying to be like, look at me, I'm special, because it's it's frustrating to be frustrated. More than like the typical ordinary person gets frustrated over shit like this. I don't know. It's just, I don't like it. I don't like this feeling. I don't like not being able to do something. And I remember growing up too, like, there were teachers that would even say this to me, like, well, if you just put in enough time and effort, you can learn anything. That is fucking bullshit. And sorry for my swearing today. I think I've been doing better on my episodes, but not so much today. But that's bullshit. Like, you cannot sit there, no matter how much, this is my opinion, no matter how much you try to teach yourself something or have somebody else teach that thing to you, if you can't get it, then you can't get it. And like, for example, stats. I could never do stats in college. Like, I think I had shared before that I manipulated my way into getting a D from the professor. And I tried so hard in that class. Like, I spent hours trying to teach that to myself. Well, not teach it to myself, but do the work when I got home. And I went to get extra help until I realized that that wasn't even going to help. So then I just kept going to get extra help to pretend I wanted it, but I didn't want it. I just wanted to show the professor, look at me, look how hard I'm trying. Please don't fail me. Like, I tried so hard with that class. It sucked because I couldn't get anything. I didn't get anything at all in that class. I don't know how the hell I got away with a D. And you know what? I'm proud of that. I don't care. I still graduated college. I don't give a shit that that was a D. My goal was to just pass it. And so yeah, like, and that's math. And I already know that I don't do well with math. But, so when stuff like what happened the other day with like the software, trying to figure that out, it just kind of brings up stuff from the past that, I don't know, it just really just stuck with me. Like, that semester with that stats class was the worst. I was eating those numbers. I was breathing that fucking material, and none of it was penetrating my brain. Like, none of it was making sense. And I had never felt so incompetent. I don't know if that's the right word, but I had never felt so incompetent in my entire life until I took that stats class. And so I hope I get better with this. Maybe now that I'm talking about it out loud and acknowledging that, I don't have to get so worked up over stuff that I don't get. I can just accept it. Sometimes that's easier said than done, especially when you're left to your own devices and you have nobody to help you and you end up wasting time. And that is I do not like that. I hate wasting time. Like, my whole day is scheduled, not like to the minute, but you know what I mean. And I'm very purposeful with how I spend my time. All day I am doing something, and there are things that I want to do. So like, when I can't do those things, it just really messes me up, and I don't know how to deal with that. So I need to work on this more. But yeah, that's all I've got. So if anybody else out there has had days like this, or maybe you're having them right now, you're not alone. Yeah, that's all I've got. Sorry if this episode was weird. I don't think it was, but I don't know anymore. I need to go. Okay, I thank you for listening. Sorry about my talking. Sorry about any nasty sounds I made with my mouth. I don't really have that much dry mouth, but just in case. And thank you. I think I said thank you for listening. I gotta go. Okay, thanks. Bye.